A brave Romanian MEP has decided to expose Ursula von der Leyen's true face and how the European Union is trying to turn Europe into another China.
Clearly, we are witnessing right now the Chinification of Europe, because we see what is happening in China right now with the social credit score, where the government is monitoring and surveilling all the people from the beginning to end. Everything that they do, everything, everywhere where they walk, they control everything and they watch everything. This is the example of a tyranny. When the government knows everything about you, where you go, what you eat, where you enter, that's the tyrannical system.
That is Cristian Terhes from Romania, a brave MEP. We haven't really had much of it recently. I mean, especially ever since Nigel Farage has left the European Parliament. We don't really see many clashes, people being brave enough to stand up to the European Commission, to the whole of establishment of Brussels and Strasbourg and all the European Union machine, because things are getting worse. If you haven't noticed, the European news, the way the mainstream media report in Europe, Western Europe, just ignore that. If you want to hear the truth, go and follow some of the websites from Poland, from even Romania and some certain other places, Hungary and other places, Italy as well. These places actually would show how they are treating their people. We now know. So the part of this discussion, and we're going to show you more of the clip and the speech, is about how authoritarianism is completely taken over in the name of public health, safety, and freedom of movement and freedom of trade. And now we're talking about unifying security and defenses of European countries. Apparently, Nick Clegg said it doesn't exist, EU army, but yeah, it does exist. It's going to happen. So this is why he's going to continue talking about all this happening under the leadership of Ursula von der Leyen, and we're going to tell you the truth about Ursula.
And we've seen this system being implemented right now under the leadership of Ursula von der Leyen, slowly but surely in the European Union. The Green Certificate was just the first step. There are a few more proposals right now under debate in the Parliament. The European Wallet ID, for example, the European Social Security Card. All these things that are creating a system that will monitor, control, supervise, and condition the rights of all the European citizens. Just yesterday,
Why do you think? I mean, we now know that those who are responsible for this globalist elite and the whole kind of the authoritarian centralization of politics in Europe and across the world now is because of certain organizations who are trying to centralize everything. Like what? The World Economic Forum. Now, World Economic Forum, it's a group of really rich, powerful corporations and politicians getting together to decide for the rest of the world because it's easier to centralize economic policies and health policies and everything else. It doesn't really work. We know it doesn't work. But they have a number of people on their board. Ursula von der Leyen happens to be a member of the board of trustees of the World Economic Forum. She's a massive defender. She's a big advocate of WEF and their centralization, whether it's the latest project that started in 2020, the publication of World Economic Forum's Great Reset, or this idiotic PR exercise of hashtag Build Back Better that they've all signed up to kind of essentially get all the comms and the communications team to keep repeating Build Back Better, because it's all about starting new, resetting everything, and make sure that now that we're going to reset everything, just like what European Union did with Europe after the 50s, then we can try to create United States of Earth, and we're going to have a Star Trek weird fantasy world. This is not really going to work, and this is why this guy is spot on.
Before yesterday actually, on Monday, in the plenary, we had the Commissioner for Work. And he said, well, we need the European Social Security card number, pass, as he called it, certificate, to facilitate the freedom of movement. We heard this before with the Green Certificate. So they use this is the same narrative. And I invite you guys as journalists, just watch what they say and what they do.
Is it wrong? It's not wrong. I mean, always follow the money and always trying to see the vested interest, because it's not really about deep state or anything like that. It is basically deep state, but in a very, very obvious and physical level. It's just simply about how a certain group of people who think that they are in the pockets of big lobbying firms, big corporations who are basically dictating policy at this point, because, you know, if you think even in this country we have full democracy, we don't really have full democracy. We have British democracy. That's, you know, the whole different system anyway we have. But like a country like America, if you genuinely believe that the voters and the electorate in America are controlling the narrative, that's not really true, because the whole country is no longer that free market capitalist nation that they used to have. America is now a corporatist system, and it's not capitalism. Corporatism is not capitalism. It's actually ironically closer to, well, leftism, because it's all about centralization and making sure that everything is becoming pro-big government. Big government, big business going hand in hand is dangerous for all of us, not just our society, but the rest of the world. If you believe in what I say, if you agree that this is a dangerous route, then share this video, subscribe, and click on the bell next to it so people get notified when I release my new videos. I'm TC, and we are the media.